relation to that anger on the ground, I know that you've dealt with this issue to some extent, sure. But Zoe Salucci McDermott in Cobargo says that you turned your back on her. We've all seen the video. I've watched it. You pat her on the arm and you turn around within 3 seconds. Now, you've said twice, both at a press conference yesterday on a current affair, that you talked to this woman. She says that you didn't.
Well, what she spoke to me about was the need for more local fire brigade support. That's what she raised to me when I was talking to her, and I went on to meet a number of other people who were there. I was going on to meet, there were quite a number of people who were there and other people wanting to talk to me as well, which is what I went and did. She'd raised her point with me and I understand her anger, and as I said before, Sam, my response to that, I mean, I was the first senior leader to go into Cobargo, and I understand the first person who was going to walk into that town was going to feel the anger and the fury and the frustration and the loss and the fear that was evident in that community. Now, in that community, as others who I met with on that day have said, there was a mixed response. Some were incredibly pleased. Some I embraced, some others didn't wish to. Some wanted to shake hands, some didn't.
Up with her,
well, we'll be responding to the need in Cobargo, and her need, as she outlined to me on that day, was to ensure there was greater RFS support, and I have already relayed that on to the RFS. That was the key issue that she raised with me. Others I offered to talk to, they didn't want to talk to me, and they had some other advice that they gave to me, colourfully. And I understand that too. I was the first leader to walk into that town, and as a result, I anticipated that some would feel that way, but I was prepared to go, and Jenny and I were prepared to listen, and we were prepared to offer what comfort we could, but the key answer...
And your wife did hug that fireman in Cobargo as well, who was very grateful for that. But as a leader, after that experience and the experience of the firey in the Kwama shed that didn't want to talk to you because he'd lost his house,
sure, I understand.
What have you learnt as a leader from these last couple of days?
Well, in all of these incidents, Sam, as you would know because you've been covering these things for a long time, people in these situations have a mix of emotions. These arms have given a lot of hugs in the last 3 months. In fact, they've given a lot of hugs over the last almost year and a half in which I've been Prime Minister, whether it's been comforting the victims of the drought in North Queensland or elderly residents up in Taree. On some occasions, people are looking for that. On other occasions, they frankly just want to keep their distance. With the brigade captain at Cobargo, he was exhausted. And I could see he was exhausted, and he just wanted to get back to the shed and have a rest. And I was keen for him to have that. There's a lot of criticism and commentary that comes on these things by a capture of a small moment, and what you simply seek to do in these circumstances. And, you know, for Jenny, you know, it's amazing to have her with me when I do this. You try and respect people's space, but, you know, it's a very emotional situation, and you've just got to try and manage that as best you can. But what I must do is what I'm doing today. The best response I can provide to people who are feeling angry and people who are feeling isolated, for people who are fearful and afraid, is to do what I'm doing today.